أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Dear brothers and sisters, we thank Allah the Almighty, the creator of the heaven and the earth. Inshallah, we are going to continue our lessons, the seerah of our beloved Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In our last video, we talked about the expulsions of Banu Nadir, the Jewish tribes that Prophet ﷺ kicked them out because of their treachery, because they wanted to kill Prophet ﷺ, and he kicked them out. So we talked about that. So inshallah, few incidents took place in that same times. No, because this took place, the expulsion of Banu Nadir took place in the fifth year, the 5 years of Hijrah. So things that took place in the same years, we're going to discuss those inshallah, including the how you call it, the expedition of Banu Mustaliq. We're going to talk about Banu Mustaliq today, inshallah, if we have enough time. But the few incidents that took place in the same years, in the 5th year of Hijrah, one of them was when Prophet ﷺ, when he camped, when he placed a siege around the fortress of Banu Nadir. This time, Allah prohibit the consummation, the drinking of alcohol. That's when the alcohol became completely haram in Islam. This was the time when Prophet ﷺ was attacking, not even attacking, was pretty much when he placed a siege, around the fortress of Banu Nadir. So when Prophet and Sahaba were in Banu Nadir, the ayah came down to prohibit the alcohol. In prohibition of alcohol, before alcohol was prohibited completely, 3 ayahs came down in different occasions. When you look at it in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah said, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Yas'alunaka anil khamri wal maisir, قل فيهما إثم كبير ومنافع للناس وإثمهما أكبر من نفعهما. So that's in Surah Al-Baqarah. Allah said, يسألونك عن الخمر. Oh Muhammad, they're going to ask you about the intoxicant. They're going to ask you about the alcohol, the wine. قل, they're going to ask you about the alcohol, والميسر, and gambling. قل فيهما إثم كبير ومنافع للناس. Tell them the sin on both of them are far greater than their benefit. وإثمهما أكبر من نفعهما. Allah said their sin, and Allah said, قل فيهما إثم كبير ومنافع للناس. Tell them فيهما إثم كبير, they have a far great sin, ومنافع للناس, and a little benefit for people. وإثمهما أكبر من نفعهما, meaning their sin outweighed, is far greater than the benefits. So this is before the alcohol became haram. So why? Because this is the time when many Sahaba embraced Islam. They are new in Islam, So when they came to Islam, they didn't have, they had all this, drinking problem. Some of them do all the other stuff, and stuff like that, sinful acts. But Allah knew, since they are coming to Islam as a new convert, so Allah gave them time to develop, to become a better Muslim before He made alcohol haram. So this is very wise. Even when someone comes to Islam as a newly convert, sometimes they enter Islam with different baggages. Some of them, maybe they do alcohol, they drink alcohol. Some of them even do drugs. Some of them even have other sins. But when they embrace Islam, when they take their Shahada today, and the following day you saw them doing something different, the next following day you see them doing something, unlawful, some sinful act, don't rebuke them. Be compassionate, be kind to them, because they're new to Islam. So it's gonna take time for them to get out of that, bad habit. That's exactly what Allah did here. He let Sahaba grow and become better Muslim. That's why He did not prohibit alcohol at the beginning in Surah Al-Baqarah. So now in second surah, in Surah Al-Nisa, Allah says, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, la taqrabu as-salah wa antum sukara. See, al-ayah. Then Allah said, Oh, you who believe, do not come to prayer while you are intoxicated. When you drink alcohol, don't come to prayer. Because one of the Sahaba, according to some narrations, one time he was drunk. So he came and stand in prayer and start mumbling and said different things that is not Quran. He started saying bad words, while he was praying. So for that reason, Allah revealed an ayah by saying, "O you who believe, do not come to prayer while you are intoxicated, because you would not know what you're saying." Yeah, that's what Allah said. So, "Hatta ta'lamu ma taqulun," till you know exactly what you're saying. Don't come to prayer while you are intoxicated. When you're drunk, don't come to prayer till you know exactly what you're saying. And this is the second ayah, but still, Allah still not make alcohol haram yet. And this is in Surah An-Nisa. So this time, when this ayah came down, the Sahaba, they would only drink, when they pray Isha, and they go to sleep. So by the time the Fajr come, the effect of this alcohol would be gone. So they won't have the buzz or whatever. So they will not have the hangover. So they will become sober before Fajr time. They could pray the Fajr. And then in Surah Al-Ma'idah, that's the third ayah now. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, that's when Allah make things completely haram. Allah say, "Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, innamal khamru wal maisir wal ansab wal azlam rijsun min amali shaitan fashtanibuhu." Allah mentioned four different things. Allah said, "Oh, you who believe, there's no doubt, alcohol, gambling, the idols, those who worship idols, and Azlam mean it's like a type of gambling that Abdullah Abdul Muttalib, the grandfather of Prophet ﷺ, did." We talked about that in our previous video. That when Prophet grandfather, when he wants sons, he wants offspring, he asks Allah, if Allah gave him 10 sons, he would sacrifice one of them for Allah. Then when he got 10 sons, then he did a divination. This is called divination, meaning you have like a two, you have two sticks, one stake with under somebody's name and another stake under somebody else's name. So when he had 10 sons, 10 different stakes. So he casted the stake, he cast the divinations. So the divination showed that his son Abdullah, the father of Prophet ﷺ, must be sacrificed. Then, according to some of the wiser people at that time, they told him, "Do not sacrifice your son, but rather bring 10 camels and do the divination between your sons and the 10 camels." So he kept casting lots. He kept casting lot between his son and 10 camels. And then that didn't work. 20 camels against his son. That didn't work. Till he reached 100 camels. When he reached 100 camels, then the cast fall on 100 camels and he sacrificed 100 camels instead of his son. So that's called divination. And Allah is saying in this ayah, divination is haram. Alcohol is haram. Gambling, any type of gambling is haram. Any type of, idols, worshiping idols is haram. And divination is also haram. So this ayah was revealed while when Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba, they were siege, they were placing siege, in under the fortress of Banu Nadir. So that's when this ayah came down. Allahu Akbar. So when this ayah came down, every person in Medina, in the city of Medina, that had alcohol in their home, they all poured their alcohols. They all got rid of their alcohol. So you could see the liquid of alcohol flowing on the street of Medina. Allahu Akbar. Everyone got rid of their alcohol. See, that shows how Sahaba were, how convinced they were to Islam, what kind of iman they used to have. Allahu Akbar. So this is one of the incidents that took place in the 5th year of Hijrah also. So another incident that took place, Ibn Abbas narrated that back in the days when the Arab women, you know, uh, this is before Prophet ﷺ came to Medina, and Ibn Abbas said that back in the times, you know, in Jahiliyyah, The Arab women, when they would have a miscarriage, when they are pregnant and they have a miscarriage, or if they have few miscarriage, then what they would do, they would take an oath. They would say, "Oh Allah, if you give us a son and we didn't have any miscarriage, we would give this son to the Yahud. We would give them to the Jewish, because they knew that the Jewish were the tribes with the books. They were the tribe that believe in God, and they were the tribes that are more knowledgeable about God. So they would say maybe our religion, which is idolatry, is far inferior to the Jewish religion. So if we dedicate that we give our son to this Jewish religion, they become Jewish. They become they would adapt all the Jewish culture. Hopefully, these sons would survive. So this Arab woman had that mentality, and so some of these women, once they took that oath, they took that promise, and if Allah gave them son, and the son grew, they would give this son to the Jewish people, and this son would be raised as a Jewish, and he became a Jewish in terms of religion. He would be adopted to them. So Arabs women have few sons that belongs to the Jewish community like that, because of the bad omen, according to their belief. So when Prophet ﷺ kicked Banu Nadir out of Medina, some of these Arab young men, they're now grown. They're now a grown men now, but they grown as Jewish, people, even though they're originally Arab. But the fact that their mother used to take an oath, so they consider themselves as Jewish. So when Prophet kicked this Jewish tribe out of Medina, some of these Arab men that became Jewish because of their mother's oath, now they're living with the Jewish people. They were living with Bani Nadir in Medina. So their mother came to them and said, "No, no, no, you cannot go with Jewish people. You're not Jewish. You're an Arab. Why don't you renounce your religion and become Muslim? That way, Prophet would give you all your belonging. You don't have to. You just live Judaism. Live it." So when their mothers complained, that's when Allah revealed Surah in Surah Al-Baqarah, the ayah right after Ayatul Kursi, Surah 256. Allah said, "La ikraha fi din, qad tabayyana ar-rushd min al-ghayy, ومن يكفر بالطاغوت ويؤمن بالله فقد استمسك بالعروة الوثقى لا انفصام لها والله سميع عليم." Allahu Akbar. Allah revealed that there is no compulsory in religion, because these mothers, they're trying to force their sons to leave Judaism and embrace Islam. And Allah said, "No, you cannot force someone to leave their religion. You could teach Islam to them, you could show the right way to them, but if they refuse, you cannot force them. Because even if you force them and they become Muslim, in reality, you are forcing them, but their heart did not embrace Islam. You could force someone physically to even pray, but if their heart doesn't believe in Islam, it's not gonna benefit them. That's why sometimes we force our kids to pray, but when we're not there, they don't pray. Why? Because we're forcing them. We're supposed to show them the value of Islam, the value for Allah, so that way they would embrace Islam. Whether you're there or not, they would pray, because they know that Islam is true. They know how powerful Allah is. Allah to do anything. But if you don't show them Allah in the right way, and you are forcing them to do something and without any explanation, of course they only do it because you are forcing them. But when you're not there, they're not doing it. So that's what Allah is saying. La ikraha fi din. There is no compulsory. You cannot force someone in religion. There's no compulsory in Islam. قَدْ تَبَيَّنَ الرُّشْدُ مِنَ الْغَيِّ. The truth and the falsehood are being separated, meaning the false and true are not the same. Everything is clear. قَدْ تَبَيَّنَ الرُّشْدُ مِنَ الْغَيِّ. True and false are clear. فَمَنْ يَكْفُرُ بِالطَّاغُوتِ وَيُؤْمِنْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدِ اسْتَمْسَكَ بِالْعُرْوَةِ الْوُثْقَى لَا انْفِصَامَ لَهَا. Whoever disbelieves in Taghut. Taghut, it's anything that is worshipped beside Allah. Anything that people worship beside Allah, that's called Taghut. A person could be a Taghut, an idol could be a Taghut, Anything could be a taghut as long as you worship that thing beside Allah. So Allah said, anyone who disbelieves in any other thing that is being worshipped, anyone who disbelieves in that kind of stuff and believe in only Allah, there's no doubt that person has hold on to the strong rope, the strong rope. Lan fisama laha, there's no cutting point, meaning you cannot detach this rope. No, no way. See, this ayah came down because of this incident, the expulsion of Banu Nadir. So this Arab young man who was raised as a Jewish, who were raised as a Jewish, they embraced the Judaism, and the mother wanted them to leave Judaism and join Islam. And Allah said, no, you can't force them. If you preach Islam to them, they want to live in their own, fine, but you cannot force them to become Muslim. Allahu Akbar. So this is a lesson for those who would say that Islam was spread by sword. That's a lie. Islam was never spread by sword. Islam always defend itself against the enemy. That's the truth. So this is another incident that took place in this time. Another incident that took place in the 5th year of Hijrah was the birth of the grandson of Prophet ﷺ, Hassan. According to many scholars, Hassan was born in the 5th year of Hijrah, the month of Sha'ban. So when Hassan was born, Prophet asked the parents, he said, where's my son? Where's my son? Bring my son to me. Bring my son to me. He used to call Hassan his son. And he asked Ali, what did what his name? Did you name him? And Ali said, yes, I named him Harb. Harb means war. Like to go to war or something, like a warriors, someone brave. And Prophet said, no, 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 no. Don't name him war. Just name him Hassan. And Prophet gave the name Hassan. Hassan means good, nice, good. So you see, Prophet has a tendency to change name. Sometimes you would find people with a different type of name, with a really bad meaning name, and Prophet would change to something good. Sometimes you would have people who have a righteous name. Some people call themselves, the righteous person, or the pure one. Those name Prophet would change it, because you cannot self-proclaim yourself to be the righteous. Only God could, proclaim somebody to be the righteous, because that's what Allah said in Quran. وَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Do not purify yourself. Do not make yourself pure. Only Allah knows who's pure and who's not. So because of that, Prophet would change that type of name also. One of Prophet ﷺ's wife, Salama, one of her daughter, her name was Barra. Barra means the pious woman or the righteous woman, and Prophet changed her name to Zainab. Zainab means a beautiful flower or a beautiful smelling flowers. So Prophet would change name like that. So he changed Hassan name from Harb to Hassan. So when Hussein, the little brother of Hassan, when he came 11 months later, because many people would think that Hassan and Hussein, they are twins. That's not true. Hassan is older than Hussein by 11 months. Not even a year, 11 months. There are 11 months apart. So when Hussein was born in the Ramadan of 6 years of Hijr, and Prophet named him Hussein. Hussein means little Hassan. Because the Arabs has a tendency of, for example, when you say Omar, if you want to say little Omar, you said Omeir. If you say if your name is Uthman, the little Uthman is called Usaymin. So the Arab had that type of name. So Hassan, the little Hassan is Hussein. So Prophet, he named both of his grandkids like that. So many of the Aqidah, many of the Islamic law in terms of when a baby was born, how to name them, how to do some sacrifice, how to sacrifice animal for them, all that law come from the birth of Hassan in Hadith. Because when Hassan was born, radiallahu anh, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked Fatima, or his daughter, like, did you perform haqiqah for him? And she said, no. Prophet said, so don't worry, I'll take care of it. So Prophet sacrificed two animals, two sheep, two sheep or two ram, pretty much. So if there's two rams for boys, If it's a girl, one, one. But if it's a boy, it's two. And Prophet, according to one of the hadith, Prophet called the azan, the azan to prayer. Prophet called azan, you know, on his ears. So all this is, when you have a baby, newborn baby, you could perform, you could call the azan, and then you sacrifice two animals and give the baby a good name. Those are the right of the baby over you. But if you don't have the mean, you don't have the money to do this sacrificial, that's fine. And another incident that took place. So when Hassan and Hussein, one time, they were very young, so they were wearing this long clothes. So when they're walking, they tumble. They fall down a little. They fall off. When they're walking, they fell down. They're walking, they fell down. The Prophet was giving a khutbah. So when he saw them coming in the masjid, Prophet had to leave the minbar and walk to take both of them. And then Prophet said, Allah spoke the truth. Prophet said, Allah said in Quran, Innama amwalukum wa awladukum fitna. There's no doubt your money and your children are fitna. You see, I could not even be patient enough to wait for my two sons to come to me. I had to leave the minbar to go get them. Allah Akbar. So one time, even Prophet was, you will find this hadith in Bukhari. The Prophet was giving a khutbah. He held Hassan, when Hassan was a baby, he held Hassan into his arms like that. He was giving a khutbah. And then he said this famous phrase. He said, Inna ibn haza sayyid. He said, Inna ibn haza, this son of mine, meaning this Hassan, sayyid. وَلَعَلَّ اللَّهُ أَن يُصْلِحَ بِهِ بَيْنَ فِئَتَيْنِ عَظِيمَتَيْنِ مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. And he said, the son of mine is undisputed leader. This son of mine, Hassan, is an undisputed leader, a great, respected, undisputed leader. And there shall come a day that Allah will cause Hassan to reconcile between the two big groups of Muslims. Meaning Hassan would be the one who would reconcile between the two big Muslims that are about to fight. Because when Ali ibn Abi Talib, the father of Hassan, when Ali ibn Abi Talib was assassinated, so people gave bay'ah, meaning they take an oath, they give their allegiance to Hassan. And at that time, Muawiyah was another leader. So there was two leaders in the Muslim Ummah. So Hassan was one, and Muawiyah was the other one. So Muawiyah wrote a letters to Hassan and tell him that, I know you could find a way so we could reconcile, because if we both fight and we kill each other, it is as if Muslims are killing one another. So you could find a way to prevent that. So Hassan called his followers and said, you know what, he's gonna give up this, and but he had certain conditions, so he wrote a long list of conditions and give up his position, so that way the Muslim blood could be saved from, shedding. So that's what Prophet meant by that, that there would be a day this son of mine would be the mean of reconciliation between the two group of Muslim. So people would say sometimes that Abdul Aziz ibn Umar ibn Abdul Aziz was the Khamis of Khulafa al-Rashidin, like he was the fifth Khulafa al-Rashidin. But I would argue that Hassan was the fifth one. Why? Because Hassan was the Khalifa after Ali ibn Abi Talib for 6 months before he gave up. Before he gave up for Muawiyah, he was a Khalifa only for 6 months. So that 6 months, he was a Khalifa, even if it's one day. So literally, he's the fifth. He's the Khamis. He's the fifth Khalifa, literally. But many people would say no, it's Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, and Umar ibn Abdul Aziz was way later on generations. Anyway, so this is how this the scholar differ in that terms. But according the way I see it, Hassan should be the fifth one because he was a Khalifa for 6 months before he renounced his position to Muawiyah. But that's a whole tangent. That's a whole different, uh, lesson. So, but which would take, time from, our goals. But inshallah, with other time, maybe we might go on that tangent and develop that a little bit. So that's another incident that took place. So, and Prophet also said in one of his hadiths, he said, Al Hassan wal Hussein, Sayyida Shababa Ahlul Jannah. He said, Hassan and Hussein, they're all the leaders of the young people in Jannah. Allahu Akbar. Wa abuhuma khayrun minhuma, and their father is better than both of them. Meaning, their father Ali is better than both of them. Allahu Akbar. So, then this would, pretty much cover the some of the incident that took place in the 5th year of Hijrah. Another another incident that we're going to talk about is also took place in the 5th year of Hijrah is the the Ghazwatu Muraysiya, meaning the expedition of Muraysiya. Muraysiya is a pond, it's a very small pond, and the tribe that will reside next to that pond, they are called Banu Mustaliq. So Banu Mustaliq, their chief, who was his name was Haris ibn Abu Dirara. Haris ibn Abu Dirara, that was their chief. So, these people, this tribe, in the previous generation, Abdul Muttalib, the grandfather of Prophet ﷺ, he had an alliances with this tribe when he was alive. But when the time of Uhud, the battle of Uhud took place, this tribe, instead of supporting Prophet ﷺ, because Prophet is the grandson of Abdul Muttalib, but rather this tribe support the Quraysh over the Prophet. And they even helped the Quraysh in Uhud, against the Muslim. But right after Uhud, the Quraysh could not even, because their goal is to completely annihilate the Muslim, to completely destroy Islam. So that way, they could, have their way, and also their trade route. We talked about their trade route to Yemen and their trade route to Sham was cut off by Muslim. But even after Uhud, they still could not travel. The Quraysh could still not travel. So that means the wars, the Uhud war for Quraysh was not successful. So this tribe, their economy was pretty much based on the same route too. That's why they helped Quraysh over the Prophet. So now this tribe see that this is an opportunity, that since the Uhud, I mean the war of Uhud, the battle of Uhud took place, and now the Muslims are weak. They're very weak, so they cannot defend themselves properly. So this is the time for us to even attack them more. This is what Banu, the tribe is, they're intending to do. You know, Banu Mustaliq, they say that this is the time to attack the Muslim because they're weak. They're just coming out of the war, so and they cut our route. So so this is the time to attack. So when Prophet ﷺ heard the rumor, Prophet ﷺ want to make sure the rumor is confirmed, is true. Because you cannot just, whatever you hear, you can't just go by what you hear. You always must confirm that what you hear is true from the source. That's what Allah said in Surah Al-Hujurat. Allah said, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu in ja'akum fasikun binaba'in fatabayyanu an tusibu qawman bijahala fatusbihu ala ma fa'altum nadimin. Allahu Akbar. Allah said, oh, you who believe, if a fasik, meaning someone who is not a righteous person, if that they comes to you with a news, verify the news before you act on it. Otherwise, you're going to be blameworthy. You're going to regret. Why? Because you did not verify the news. So that's what Prophet is doing. Prophet is verifying what these people are planning. So because of that, Prophet ﷺ, he sent an emissary. He sent someone, one Sahaba. His name is Buraida bin al-Hasid. Buraida bin al-Hasid. Prophet sent him to Banu Mustaliq in order to find exactly what's going on, to find out. So when he went there, he talked to the chief, Haris, and he said, I heard that you guys are about to attack the Muslim, and I want to join your group. So that way I could benefit from whatever the war spoil you got. So I could get some. And the chief said, okay, fine. You look like a strong man, so you could help us. And so Bureda confirmed that the attack is true. He sneaked out and went back to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to inform Prophet that whatever you heard is absolutely true. These people are preparing. So Prophet, he gathered Sahaba. Some said over 70 or 700, some said even more. But this time, even the hypocrite who never ever joined Prophet in any battles, they see this as a great opportunity to join Prophet in this battle so they could benefit from the war spoil, including Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salud, the leader of the hypocrite. So all the hypocrite joined the army of the Muslim because they know this war would be easy. It's just a piece of cake because they're going to attack these people and these people would be completely unprepared because they're not expecting Prophet to counterattack. This tribe was about to attack Prophet, but Prophet heard what they're about to do, so Prophet counterattacked them before they even realized it. That's what happened. So usually Prophet, when he would attack any village, he would do it in the Fajr time, early in the morning. Why? Because people are pretty much, still sleeping. They are unprepared. They're not thinking about wars. They're not thinking about anything. That's the right time to strike. That's what Allah, would commenting in Surah Al-Adiyat. Allah said, وَالْعَادِيَةِ دَبْهَا فَالْمُورِيَةِ قَدْهَا فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ الصُّبْحَ فَأَثَرْنَ بِهِ نَقْعًا فَوَسَطْنَ بِهِ جَمْعًا. This is the commentary about the horse, the war horse. When the horses attack the village, when they speeding, they running faster, you could hear the heartbeat, gup gup gup, and you could see their feet, or spike. They spike the fire. You could see the spike, the horseshoe. Those horseshoes were made out of the metals, right? So when the horse is running and they're running over a rock or something, you could see a fire sparking under their feet. And you could see the dust is coming when they're running. You could see the dust. And they could run into a village. Oh my God, what a beautiful ayah. So it's a description of the war horse. So same thing. So Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam prepared the Sahaba to attack this village, and once he attacked this village, it was an easy peasy. So they were able to conquer this village, Banu Mustalik. 1,000 prisoner of war, about 2,000 camels they captured, and about 5,000 animals like sheep and goats and stuff. So they capture all that, and so only one collateral damage, meaning one friendly fire took place. One of the Sahabi from Medina killed accidentally another Sahabi, and the Sahabi that was killed, so his name was Hisham ibn Subaba. Hisham ibn Subaba was killed, but accidentally. So when Hisham ibn Subaba was killed, his brother Mikyas ibn Subaba, who was not even a Muslim, he was in Mecca. He heard that his brother was killed. So Mikyas came to Medina and pretended to be a Muslim. He even took Shahada, fake Shahada, and then asked Prophet to give the blood money of his brother because his brother was killed accidentally, but he wanted blood money. So Prophet gave him 100 camels. And then this man, Mikyas, what he did, nighttime, the Sahabi that killed his brother, nighttime he killed that Sahaba and took all the 100 camels and run away. So there are 6 people that Prophet gave their name, dead or alive. Whenever you see them, kill them, dead or alive. So this man was one of them, Mikyas. But in Fathu Mecca, he would be caught and he would be executed. But out of those 6 people, 2 women and 4 men, but some of them Prophet even forgive them. But inshallah, once we get there, we're gonna talk about that in much detail. So this what happened. So that took place in this war. Only one person was dead, and his name was Hisham, and this is what his brother did later on. Not some, later on when he find out that his brother was killed friendly, so he wanted to get the money and then at the same time kill the manslaughterers, the one who accidentally killed his brother. Allah Akbar. So this is what happened. So now, um, in this war, the reason we're mentioning, we talk about this, the expedition of Muraysiya, because of three big incidents took place after the war. That's why we are focusing on those. So those three big things that took place, we are going to mention one of them today, inshallah, in our probably other videos, because each of them takes time. So we'll see if we could squeeze one of them in this video, inshallah. So the first incident that took place when Muslim captures 1,000 prisoners of war and their animals, 2,000 camels and 5,000 other animals like a sheep and goats and stuff. So they brought everything back to Medina. So the chief daughter, Juwayriya, the chief is Haris. His daughter, Juwayriya, she was one of the captives. And she was given to Ibn Qais al-Shammas. Yeah, she was given to Ibn Qais al-Shammas as his slave. So then she realized she could not stay as a slave. She has to free herself. She has to ransom herself from this freedom. I mean, from this slavery. So, and Aisha radiallahu anha, she's narrating the story. So Aisha said, when